Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this mid-month psychic tarot update for September 2025. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in this mid-month of September and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, some months your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there, so you might want to check that out. So, all that being said, now on to your mid-month psychic tarot update, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. So Aries, the first card you have for this mid-month of September is the Nine of Rods, and this is being prepared and ready for battle. It can be getting organized, getting your ducks in a row. It could also indicate that you're suspicious of someone or something. It's like you have to do your due diligence. I feel like there is things that you're like, I got to get in alignment. I got to get in order. And literally, like sometimes the guides don't tell me messages that match the cards, but in your case, or they may have a thread of it. In your case, I do feel like you're doing your due diligence. You're getting things in order and organized. And because there's some reason, Aries, you have to have this feeling of like completion. And that could be due to this full moon lunar eclipse that happened or is happening, because I'm recording it right before the eclipse, in the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Full moons eclipse things from our lives, and full moon lunar eclipses definitely will eclipse things from our lives. So I feel like this is part of the energy because you want some kind of completion. I feel like you've put a lot of energy out there into the universe, into your work, into your jobs, into your projects, into your families, into your relationships, but especially work, jobs, or anything you've created. Sorry, I'm very itchy right now. I feel like you're waiting for the fruits of your labors to come to fruition. There could be a lot of things that you have to take care of that you don't really want to do. It could be like fall cleaning, or if you live in the other side of the world, it could be spring cleaning. I don't know what, but I get like having to clean things out. Also taking care of any bills, debts, or payments of things that you may feel like, I don't really want to have to do that, or certain things around your environment, like things that need to be repaired, things that need to be fixed or replaced. It could be appliances, it could be roofs, it could be windows, anything, rugs, anything in your house that you feel like it needs fixing, needs repairing, needs to be replaced or sorted out. That comes up here strongly for Aries. So the card you have with it is the Hermit, and this card came up also for your fellow fire sign of Sagittarius for this mid-month update. So you have the Hermit here with the Nine of Rods. And the Hermit can symbolize spiritual guidance. Your spirit guides could be lighting the way, showing you the path to go. You could be the Hermit, where you're taking a step back, getting a lay of the land before you proceed forward, but you're still going to be guided by your spirit guides. In some ways, Aries, I feel like energy is coming up that's making you feel like you need to understand yourself better. It could be your choices. It could be things that happened in your past. It could be your motivations moving forward. It could be a combination of all these things, but it all boils down to like understanding yourself better in some way. You could be getting prepared to do something that you want to keep on the down low. You may not want people to know you're getting ready to do it. Maybe you're thinking of quitting a job or retiring or thinking of moving or thinking of selling something that everybody in your family loves or cares about. Or it could be some big move that you personally are doing that doesn't really affect your family, but that you just don't want to talk about it right now or get it out there into the open at this point. You may have to take on more work, literally speaking. Like you may have to take on more clients, more customers, more accounts, or like side jobs, or working overtime or extra hours. Like if you own your own business, it could be offering more products and services that's going to make more work come up. So some of you, that may be in the picture in September or moving forward, even going into October and November. You may also have to take into consideration what is the best for you with your health and well-being. It may be really important, like what's best for your health. Maybe you live in an area where the climate isn't the best for you. Or maybe you've been taking, what do they call it? Maybe you've been taking like medications or treatments that you've been doing and you don't feel like it's the best for you. So you want to change. You want to change those treatments, change those things to do what's best for you. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Taurus. So the first card I got for you for this mid-month update, Taurus, you have the Emperor. And this is a strong male figure. It could be an authority figure. It could be a paternal figure to you that's crossed over to the other side, or in the living that's watching you, guiding you, protecting you, giving you ideas and inspirations that could feel like they're yours, but they could belong to the Emperor. But this could be somebody in the living, a boss, a husband, an ex-husband, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, a brother, uncle. You could even be the Emperor here. It's, we'll have to see why it shows up for you. Some of you are going to be thinking about making more money and wanting to have more power and control, maybe in your career, maybe at your job. Could even be wanting more power and control in a family scenario too. I feel like you're going to think, I got to put the hammer down. If you're a boss or own a business, you may feel like it's necessary for you to be more authoritarian, more strict with your employees. If you're a manager, supervisor, or boss of any kind, even if you work at another business or company, you may feel like you want more power, you want more authority. You may feel like you have to come down and be more of a taskmaster to people around you. But this could also be with your kids and in a family situation as well. Some of you could be going through a lot of emotional ups and downs, or having concern about your father or a father figure. Maybe they're not well or elderly or having some kind of issues of some sort. So you could also be worried or having some kind of concern about your father or father figure. Some of you may feel like you need to get your act together or get something together and you need to move out. Now, it could be move out of a job or but I feel it's more like move out of a living situation for some of you. I feel like the Emperor is also trying to tell you, Tauruses, not to procrastinate, not to drag your feet, to get on with it. There's something some reason your guides are like trying to urge you to get on with something. So maybe there's something complicated or difficult or unpleasant that you are like, I don't really want to do it, or just like you're having lack of confidence or faith in something, but that's what the Emperor is saying here. So the card you have with it is the Hangman. This is being in limbo, not moving forward, not moving backward, being in a state of suspended animation and having to draw strongly from your own psychic ability and intuition when the Hangman shows up. This could also indicate you're waiting for something. I just want to let you know that in this reading, I got 9 major arcana cards for all the signs. And 9 is a lot in a reading. And you have 2 of them right here. The Hermit, the Hangman and the Emperor. If there's anything that you need to compile, to complete, to get together, to like send off, like it could be a resume, it could be something you want to get published, a book, a paper, but something you need to get it together, compile something and send it off. Maybe you sell things online and you need to like get things together, compile things together to make shipments. Maybe you have an online store and you've had a lot of purchases and like it's time to compile all these purchases and put them together and send them off. But compiling things together and getting them out there is part of the energy that comes up here. I feel like you're going to get some like huge breakthroughs and enlightening moments in September. This could be due to the eclipses. We have 2. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 7th, and we have a new moon solar eclipse on the 21st. So I feel like this enlightenment is coming from one or the other eclipse, or maybe both of them. I feel like you need to pay attention to your dreams. I also get, because I get you getting important messages from your dreams, I also feel like there's things that you need to get rid of as far as documents or important papers that are old, or like shredding paper, getting rid of paper, that comes up here. You could make an important deal with someone this month. It could be to go into business with them, or it could be a purchase of a property, or a car, or somebody that's going to work for you in some capacity. But it's possible, or something you're going to purchase, because I get you making a big deal with somebody in September, or it could happen in October. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. The first card you got is Ace of Rods, and this is new beginnings. It could be receiving an inheritance, the birth of a child, a new job, a new romantic partnership, new living situation. So you got new beginnings here. Some of you are going to start a new job with a new business or company. You could be doing business with them. Like maybe you work for another business or company, or you own your own business, and now you're going to start to do business with a new company. Or you could be hired by a new company and starting a new job with a new company. Some of you are going to get invited to attend a gathering that's going to be special. It could be a wedding or some, engagement party, wedding, christening, baptismal, I don't know, something that, or a retirement party, or a big special birthday party for somebody, because I get the word sentimental is connected to it. You're going to feel like you got the tiger by the tail this month, and I feel that Geminis are going to be making big changes, and I feel that this is being affected by the 2 eclipses that we're having this month, one on the 7th, one on the 21st, because the biggest thing that eclipses bring, besides endings and beginnings, the number one thing is change. And I do feel like you're going to feel like you've got it all going on. You got the tiger by the tail, and there's change, major change happening for you. If you work for a business or company right now, it's very likely you could get promoted this month, or get a raise, or a raise and a promotion could happen. Some of you are going to be developing some kind of talent or skill that's going to be very lucrative for you and marketable, or it could be developing a product or something. You could be developing something that could really be a good moneymaker for you in some form or another. I do feel like this is a good time of abundance of money flow for Geminis. And you could enter some kind of phase where you're in the stages of product development. Could be a product you're creating, could be something a company or business you work for is creating, but either way, you'll be part of it. Now, the card you have with it is Four of Swords. This card came up 3 times for this mid-month. You, Sagittarius, and Aquarius got it. So one of your fellow air signs got it. There was an ant crawling on me. So you got Four of Swords. That's a pause, a resting phase, a meditative state, a recuperation from an illness. It could also mean prayer. Very weird cards to have together based on what my guides just told me about your Ace of Rods. I feel like you're doing introspection and some really deep thinking. You could be also meditating. You could want to take some kind of break from reality and like take a break, take a week off, take a vacation, really spend time getting comfy and relaxing could come up for some of you. I do feel you're doing a lot of contemplation about big decisions that are coming up on your plate and could be right in front of you, or big decisions you're getting ready to make yourself. Some of you could adopt a pet this month. It's possible. Even if you already have pets, you could adopt a pet. You could feel like it's an important month for you if you are working or own your own business, where you segregate yourself and work by yourself you may feel like that's better for you. Like you don't want extraneous noise, extraneous conversations, and not wanting distractions could come up here for some of you Geminis. Your analytical mind is going to be on fire. And I feel like you could pore over some kind of like important data, important information. It could be like written in journals that you're going to read. It could be online. They could be stock portfolios. It could have to do with the financial markets in the world. But I get like you analyzing things. It could be your own bank account and your own investments, your own personal investments, your bank account, any IRAs or any savings you have. It could have to do with that. But it could also be about, like I said, the financial markets, things that, it could be like learning about crypto, reading about it and, learning more about it, or it could be other information. Depends on what you're interested in. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. The first card you have is Two of Rods. And this is a card that symbolizes partnership, partnership in business, partnership in romance. It could also be you creating or putting something out there into the world in some manner. You may feel a little neglected or rejected. You may be thinking about that you want more love, emotions, or attention paid to you, or things that you are creating and doing to get more attention. You may be like looking to think, where can I situate myself in a better situation? That could be work. That could be friends and social groups. It could be the area that you live in. Maybe you're like, I want to be situated in a better area. Maybe you don't feel safe, or you feel like too isolated, or there could be something about you feeling like you want to be situated in a different place, but what place means to you could be jobs, living situations, could be country or area, town, city, neighborhood, you know. You may even be going through some kind of promiscuous phase, or some kind of phase where you want to shake things up and you want to do things differently, and you may feel like, I want to look different or dress differently, act different, put out a different kind of persona. Like you may feel like you want to turn up the heat, turn up the volume, shake things up. Like, I don't want to go out there and be the same me. I want to be a new me. So you may feel like that. And that, remember, this could apply to Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, and or Cancer Rising people. You could feel like there's a lot of things going on, factors that are happening out in the world or happening around you that are making you nervous. It could be things happening in your government, in your local, world. But it could be like the neighborhood where you live. It could be at the job where you work. Like something could be unsettling to you and making you feel wiggly, wobbly, or uncertain. So the card you have with it is the Eight of Rods, and this is news coming to you swiftly. It could be swift and sudden change. It could also be long distance travel or having to travel. It could be the arrows of love coming to you. It could be communications, not just receiving news, but you could be having communications. I do feel like some of you are going to get some news, and it could have to do with water-related issues. I feel like you could be getting news about water-related issues. It could have to do with somebody comes in and says, hey, your pipes are leaking. You need new pipes. Or, hey, there's going to be a big storm coming your way. You need to, tie your stuff down, elevate things if you think something could get flooded, things of that nature. So it could have to do with water, but it could be news of other sorts. You could get some news that comes through the grapevine that you're hearing about a business or company that you work for or do business with in some way, and you may be like, I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to stay here. Like, you could hear some news come down the pike, like the direction of the company is going to change, or they're going to start downsizing, and maybe you feel like you're low man on the totem pole, and you may be afraid that you're going to get fired, or something about a business or company you work for or do business with. You may get the vibe like, wow, that news is changing something for you. You could also get news about your health, where somebody, if you had any test results done, the doctor or the lab or whomever could give you results that you need to like stop eating gluten, stop eating dairy, or you have some kind of allergy, or or an allergy to a food or to a medication. Or like you find out you didn't know you had this or that, and now you have to take this kind of medicine or whatever. Like you could get news of like a test result. If it's not about your health, it could be a test result that you took in some other capacity. That it was like a test you sit there and actually took. Not health related. So you could get test results from something like that. You could hear some news about a family member. And the family member, they may be, some illness may kick up, or they may be going through a difficult time. I don't know. It could be good news. It's not necessarily always bad news, but some of you are going to hear news about a family member in this mid-month of September, or maybe you already heard it in July or August, because I do hear the words July. So psychic readings, they're not always going to be exactly, spirit world doesn't look at time the same way we do, right? I am asking for now, but they do mention July, so you may have already gotten the news in July. Or it could be news about something coming up in July of 2026, but you could receive news about a family member. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Leo. Hi, Leo. The first card you have is the Seven of Rods, and the other sign that got that for this mid-month update is Libra. So Leos and Libras got the Seven of Rods, which is a card that symbolizes taking the moral high ground in a situation. It can also be holding back negative communications or negative energy from coming at you. So you could be closing the door on it or keeping it at bay. Some of you have situated yourself in some kind of power play, where you, if you own your own business, you could be changing and restructuring and reorganizing your business. That may have already started in August, but it could be continuing on as an activity you're doing in the month of September. You may feel like it's really important to let people in on different news that's going on with you, or different programs or products or services or subject matter you're going to be offering. I feel like you're going through this process where you're like, I have to stop wasting time on stupid things. And some of you, the stupid things, which it is valuable. I'm not dogging it completely because we all use our phones, but it could be like wasting time on your phone, or wasting time playing too many video games, or wasting time, whatever it is. I mean, we can waste time on a billion things. Those two things jumped into my mind. But you may find that you're feeling like that. Like, I can't waste time on these stupid things that you're like, because I feel like some Leos are going to be like, I don't have time for that nonsense anymore. Some of you could be gathering together subject matter that you want to do on a blog, a vlog, a video series, a book, or something that you want to create. So you could be gathering up knowledge and information that you're going to compile together and do something with it. Maybe even start a YouTube channel or a Rumble channel or something like that. Or if you already have a channel, you could be putting it on this channel. If you are a person that gets a lot of like crap from people, like naysayers, where people want to criticize your work, criticize what you're doing, or saying negative things about you personally, these could be people in your own personal life. It could be the public. You are like, I feel like you're fed up with it and you have to move beyond it and not waste your energy on that either. So the card you have with it is the Six of Pentacles. That's giving charitably, generously, and freely to others. It could be receiving charity and generosity from others. It can indicate the balance of give and take. I do feel like if you have a business, you're going to, or something, you're going to be giving things away for free. If you're trying to attract clients and customers to a business or something you've created, or you want to have people come to what you're doing, maybe it's an event you're planning or a webinar or seminar or some kind of classes you're teaching or an event you're planning. I already said that. You may be giving some things away for free. Tickets to come for free, or like what do they call it? Trailers, you know, a trailer of what you have to offer, and giving snippets of like this, that, and the other, so people, that for free, that people can see, oh, that's interesting, that's cool, I want to go check that out. So you could be giving like samples, you could be giving free samples. You could make a big difference in your life of showing people how it's done. Teaching, instructing, giving tutorials, coaching, tutoring. You could do very well financially if you do that. Maybe you already do it, so then maybe you want to continue on or do it even more. I do feel like there's some people that you're watching fall apart, and that you feel like you need to help them or give them some kind of charity, or it could even be information. Because I feel like you're looking at people that are struggling, suffering, and you want to help them. And maybe what you can do to help them, maybe it's give money and donate, it could be. But for some of you, it could be information that you have or that you could share that would help these people that are struggling and suffering. Focusing on other people is also something that Leos could do that would really help bring you back into balance. Putting the attention outward on others, especially anybody you can help, it's like it actually is healing and blessing for you. So something to think about. Hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi, Virgo. The first card you have is the Page of Pentacles, and this is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. This could be you, but it could be another earth sign. Pages are children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. They can be messengers also, so it could be somebody bringing you a message about something. You could feel like you're trying hard to impress somebody. It could be the public if you have your own business, or it could be bosses, could be your love partner, but I feel like there's, or you just want to be impressive in general to anyone. Maybe you're like, I want to be more impressive with what I'm doing and saying and creating and making. But it could be to someone specific. I feel like you're trying hard to find your groove this month. So something recently may have changed or altered in your life. And it could be a routine, a schedule, a job, a position, a living situation. But something has changed either this month or recently, prior to September, where like September is the month where you're trying to get your groove, how like a new routine, a new schedule, or whatever has changed. And I feel like you're spending a lot of time thinking about the future. Like you're like, okay, I'm finding my groove over here with this routine or schedule change, but I'm really putting a lot of thought and energy about the future. And that could have to do with even more things that you want to change. Maybe you want to change your schedule and routine even more, or, you know, different things that you can do to make improvements in your company you work for, or a business you own, or in your own personal life. But thinking about the future, how you can change it and improve it, but there's a lot of future thinking in your mind. You got to be careful of poison ivy. Oh my God, be careful of poison ivy if you're doing any gardening or any plants that are poisonous that could brush up against your skin that you could have a reaction. Also be careful of like food allergies also. This is a weird one. You could suspect, this is only going to apply to a very small portion of people. Some of you may suspect you're going to get a subpoena about something, a court case that you know of. Maybe you witnessed a car accident and they took your name down as a witness and you might get subpoenaed that you got to testify, or it could be a business or work related issue. I don't know. I'm not saying you're in trouble. You could get subpoenaed that they just want to hear your side of the story. Doesn't mean you're going to jail or you're getting in trouble. But that's only going to apply to some of you. So the next card you have in your reading, Virgo, is the High Priestess. And this is a card that symbolizes you being psychic and your psychic ability increasing and being enhanced. This could also indicate a high spirit guide coming in here to give you messages. This could also mean something is being kept secret or hidden. You could be keeping something secret or hidden, or somebody else could be doing it. I feel like you are letting somebody get under your skin and get on your nerves, and it's not good for you. So it could be a work partner, like somebody at work, a coworker. It could be a family member. I don't know. But somebody, could even be your significant other possibly. But somebody's getting on your nerves. And I don't feel it's good for your like stomach, upsetment, nerves. It's not good for you. You have to be careful you don't justify somebody's actions that maybe really you shouldn't. So it could be somebody you're kind of making excuses for, like they made a bad choice or made a bad decision. It could be one of your kids. It could be somebody else you're connected to, a friend of yours or somebody you care about, because you're kind of making excuses for them. And that may not be the best thing for you to do in the long run. If you have to sit in a classroom or sit in a particular place normally, I feel like your seat is getting changed. It could be like a cubicle at work. It could be a seat you sit in a class. It could be a seat you sit in somewhere else that's like you're used to it. For some reason, you could find in mid-September or going into October that your seat gets changed. You could learn something very interesting this month. It could have to do with calligraphy or some kind of writing, but it could be automatic writing, like connecting with spirit world. You could be learning how to do automatic writing. It could be scripts of some sort, some kind of scripts you have to write, because the word scripts come up. That could be medical scripts. That could be scripts in acting. It could be the script of the actual writing, like calligraphy or something like that. So just see how that plays out for you, Virgo. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Libra. Hi Libra. So the first card you have is the Seven of Rods. And the Seven of Rods, Leo also got this card. This is a card that symbolizes taking the moral high ground in a situation. It could also be holding at bay and keeping back negative energy and negative communications coming at you. This could be a time where you're going through some kind of muddled up little bit of confusion. It could be coming to you from messages, emails, documents, anything getting mailed to you. You could have some kind of confusion about it. Like, what does this mean? Like, it may not be clear. Whoever sent it may think it's crystal clear, but to you, you may be like, what is it they want? Or what are they asking me to do? If you have a business, or could be to help you at home, I do find you trying hard to find somebody you want to hire to help you in some way. Maybe you need a business assistant. Maybe you need a new accountant or a bookkeeper, or somebody that does landscaping or cuts your grass, or I don't know, babysitter, dog walker. It could be on a personal level. It could be on a business level. But I get Libras trying to hire somebody. You may feel like you have to adjust to changing circumstances. Somebody could put you on notice. Like, hey, Libra, this is changing, so be prepared. Probably from the energies of this eclipse, because we got 2 eclipses this month, one on the 7th and one on the 21st, and they bring change. And I'm getting you are going to receive notice about something that is going to require you to change something. It could be how you file your taxes. It could be how you deal with your banking. It could have to do with something you do for work that's normally on a particular kind of protocol, like, format, protocol. You may have to adjust, like make some kind of change. I do feel like you're getting yourself in a better position financially. You could start to do more work. You may find that you're going to start to take on more clients, more customers. And if you own a business, you may feel like it's time that you need to drain out the people that are not up to the level of what you want, not up to your standards. It could be a month where a lot of bills come in, maybe bills for things you purchased a while ago, or medical bills, or things that you were like, well, those bills haven't come in yet. Well, those bills may show up for you now. So the next card in your reading, Libra, is the Magician, and this is the card of the manifester. What you think about, you bring about. What's in the ethers and in your mind and in the spiritual plane, you can manifest into physical reality, and you have all the tools in front of you with which to do so. It could also indicate trickster energy when the Magician shows up sometimes. I feel like you could be getting yourself firmly entrenched or firmly planted into a work or some kind of position. It could be a position of work at your job, getting firmly entrenched and firmly planted, or it could be in a discussion or arguments or communications with people where you get yourself firmly planted in your position about how you think and feel about things. This could be a month where you want to trade up. Maybe you want to buy a new car, or, maybe you want to trade up, get a better car, a newer car, or a phone. Trade up, get a better phone. Trade up, maybe better home or apartment. I don't know what it's going to be, but trading up comes up here. I feel like you're going to be focusing on using your time more wisely, because I see you focusing on schedules and time management. If it's not your own schedules and your own time management, this could be time management connected to do with your kids or grandkids. If you have kids that are on a schedule, maybe, or you have to do like take care of work, take care of the home, take care of kids and getting them off to school and picking them up, and how you're going to fit in all these different things throughout the day, you could be really focusing on time management. This could also be in your career, in your job. Be careful this month. You could let somebody know something about yourself that you shouldn't. So don't be too freewheeling. I would not advise being too freewheeling with personal information, because it could be detrimental to you later, especially if you're like hiring somebody to come work for you, or if you're on a dating site, or you're, meeting new people, new friends, or meeting people that are new that you might want to date them. I would really be very cautious about what personal information you share in any capacity in September. Even if a new coworker comes in where you work and you're like, oh yeah, I live here and I'm married or I'm divorced, or I wouldn't share personal information in September. October might be a different story, but not in September. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. The first card you have is the Moon. This could be secrecy and deception in romance. It could be secrecy by itself. It could be romance by itself. It could indicate you have psychic ability and intuition that's heightening and increasing in the month of September. This could also indicate dreams or precognitive dreams. It could also be showing up to say that something maybe is an illusion going on right now. I feel like you're getting some kind of access to something. It could be to somebody's account. It could be to some like whistleblower information. Some kind of secrets could be being revealed to you now. Maybe from somebody that's like, hey, let me tell you, this and this is going on. It could be through the grapevine. You could get some kind of tip that could lead you to think about and understand that there's certain people that you want to steer clear of. Could be at the place where you work, could be in a club, group, or organization you belong to. I don't know where it's coming at you, but you may get some tip that's like, steer clear of this one, or that company, or that group of people. Some of you could have a new romance that is budding. It may start budding in the month of September. It could be somebody you used to know. It could be somebody you used to date before, or you just knew them and you've reconnected with them, and now the romance could start budding here. You could find out that you have a medical condition of some sort, or something could be revealed to you about your physical body or medical condition, but it may be wrong. So if it's through a test, like a blood test or, I don't know, some other kind of test, you may question the results or get it taken again. This could be a month too where you feel really connected to spirit and you want more spiritual guidance. You may be forced into some kind of weird position, or find yourself in a position where you're like, Do I have to make friends with my enemies? You may like get coupled up, grouped up with somebody that you really don't like, or in a team of people that you have to do work together in some way that you're not crazy about. And, you know, I don't know. So you could find yourself put in some kind of position in September or maybe even October where you're like, do I have to make friends with my enemies or people that I don't really like? It could come up here for you. So the card you have with it is the Wheel of Fortune. That's the karmic wheels of fate turning in your favor. The planets in the heavens and the spirit guides around you conspiring to give you karmic good fortune. It could be good luck. You could be getting good luck. It could be, did I already say a karmic cycle ending and a new karmic cycle beginning? But you could be lucky. You could be getting good luck. This could be a month where you fall in love with somebody. So I go back to that potential blooming romance could come up for some of you. You could actually fall in love. You could be wining and dining somebody, taking them out to eat, taking them out, you know, to dinner or whatnot, or they could be doing that to you. If you needed to get a project approved from bosses or government agencies, your town, you know, municipal building, whatever, I feel like you get approved of something. Something you've done gets like, yes, you're approved to do that. Maybe it's a zoning permit. Maybe it's to get a work visa or a work permit or something, or a license for something. But getting approval from like official people comes up here. You could change your hairstyle this month. You may drastically change it and go to a completely different color, or a different hairstyle, or both, or it could be wardrobe. You could be really doing an overhaul to your wardrobe and getting a different look for yourself. If you have to study anything or get taught anything for any reason, you're going to catch on to it really quickly. Some of you may have to visit an optician, or an optometrist, and you may need glasses, or your prescription could be getting increased. Or you may even be looking into getting LASIK, or you don't hear much about that anymore, or having some kind of cataract surgery or eye surgery could be discussed. But for some of you, you could be getting glasses or new glasses. If you had to take finals in something or some kind of exams, I feel you do well, you pass. So you're happy about it. And it could be in anything, any tests that comes up or exams, you have to pass, you will pass. There's another sign that got that this month, but I'm sorry, I don't remember which one because I have to keep going on to the next one. So I hope these messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. The first card you got is the Hermit. And who else got the Hermit? Aries, your fellow fire sign of Aries. So the Hermit is a card that symbolizes your spirit guides lighting the way, showing you the path to go, guiding you. You could also be the Hermit, where you're taking a step back, getting a lay of the land before you proceed forward, but you are still going to be guided by your spirit guides nonetheless. You don't want to allow yourself to be a scapegoat for anybody or anything, because there's a possibility it could come up where like people are trying to like blame you. It could be happening in family situations. It could be in a job or work related situation. I feel like your powers of psychic ability and intuition are going to be on fire, and I get you seeing through things that are obscure secrets or subterfuge, or whether it's by individuals or groups of people or big, big players out in the world, you're going to be like, really seeing through it, seeing through people, seeing through the BS. Like you're going to be on point with your psychic ability about people and their intentions, and motivations. There's some kind of gentle nudging or urging coming to you through the universe to get you to do something, and it's something that you vacillate about. You go back and forth about it. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? And I even feel like more than just putting it as the universe nudging you, I feel it's a deceased relative to you nudging you to do something. There's something they're like trying to like, come on, Sagittarius, come on, just do it. Like, just take that step, take that leap, make that move, like whatever it is. It'll be different for all of you, but it's something that you like, do we do it? No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And this deceased spirit is like, just do it. Come on. We're trying to get you to do it. Now, what is it? It could be moving. It could be if you're in a relationship with somebody that is not going well, they could be trying, and you're like, should I break up with them or should I stay with them? It could be that. It could be a job that you're sick of or you don't like, and you're like, do I stay in this because it's secure, but I really hate it and I want to leave? Then it's that. You have to figure out what this thing is. So the card you have with it is the Four of Swords, and this has come up now for Gemini. Aquarius is also getting it, and you are getting it, Sagittarius. So those three signs got it for this month of mid-month of September, the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is a pause, a meditative state, a resting phase, a recuperation from an illness. It could also mean prayer. Things in your biology is changing. Your chemistry and your things in your physical self is changing. I feel like your vibrations and your frequencies are changing. And it's almost like, I feel like you need to do certain things to keep up with it or to make it, to go along with it. I feel like you really need to steer clear of like chemicals. Like if you, even as weird as this is, and some people are going to say I'm nuts, but I see laundry soap. Like find a natural laundry soap or organic soaps or products that you use on your skin or that you clean your environment with. That are more like eco-friendly or have less chemicals in it, because I feel like, and that could even be chemicals you ingest. So it could be chemicals that would affect your skin, chemicals you would ingest. Just think of what I'm saying, because I get like, avoid chemicals for you this month. You may want to place yourself in a better position. But you may feel like you're in a quandary about where you belong. So you may feel like, do I want to live in this neighborhood or a different neighborhood? Do I want to live in this state or province? Or should I move to another state or province? Do I want to live in this town or a different town? Do I want to live in this country or a different country? Like, I feel like the question of where you belong, it could even be, sorry, I have a hair bothering me. It could even be like home. Like what brings you peace, comfort, tranquility, and makes you feel settled and you're at home. Because there might be something about your living circumstances or situation or area you live in that is making you not feel like settled, at peace, or like you're at home. Another sign here this mid-month got something similar, but I don't remember which one. I'm sorry, because they're 12, one right after the other. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. First card you have is the Nine of Swords, and I hear you are wondering and worried about whether you've done the right thing. So you have some kind of worriment here. This card symbolizes a breakup, grieving the loss of a love relationship, migraine headaches. It could be not feeling well. It could be worried about somebody else not feeling well. It could indicate bad dreams. But I'm hearing that you're worried about whether you did the right thing or not. And I feel like it's something you said or did that you have bad feelings about or concern about whether what you did or said confused the issue or confused something that was going on. There's also somebody I feel like you can't keep talking to them anymore. There's somebody in your life that it could be a client, it could be a customer, it could be a friend, it could be a relative. I don't know who it is to you, but I feel like they're dragging your energy down. They're upsetting to you. And I feel like you really need to stop communicating with them. If you've broken up with somebody and they are an ex, you need to stop communicating with this ex. But it could be somebody else. You could also have gotten yourself into a pickle where you said something and then it turned out to be wrong, or something in the circumstance changed, and now people don't believe you. But at the time, what you said you believed to be right, or something changed about it. So you could be going through a period of time where you're like, well, I said this and now people don't believe me. That could happen if you have a podcast or a YouTube or Rumble channel and you made some big, comments or commentary or something, and then it turned out to be false or incorrect, and now people aren't going to believe you. Some of you, if you are single or not, you could be coupled and you jumped into bed with somebody really quickly. This could be, so you could have had an affair, slept with somebody you shouldn't have, or that you were single, but you jumped into bed with somebody and then you find out they're married, or they're a terrible person, or you don't jive at all, and now you may have regrets. So you could be having some kind of like, wow, I shouldn't have done that about that, something like that. My guides are mentioning it, so it could apply to some of you Capricorns out there. You could feel like you've been mishandled or mismanaged by something, by a system, like, an agency, a company, a system that you are involved in some way. You could feel like you got mishandled or mismanaged. Could have to do with the medical field or legal field, justice system. I don't know. Comes up. Oh, God, look, I just said justice system, and look at the card you have. I didn't even notice it. You have the justice card with this. That's dealing with court documents, legal papers, lawyers, the court systems. It could be going through settlement, divorces. It could also be, do I live in the noisiest place on earth? I swear I do. But dealing with court systems, lawyers, or legal matters or of some sort. For some of you, there could be an abrupt change in some kind of court case or legal situation that you're dealing with. It could also be, if you were going through a divorce, there could be some kind of abrupt change about the divorce settlement, the divorce proceedings. But, you're probably being affected by these eclipses. The one on the 7th of September, full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, and the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st. This could be affecting it because changes are afoot with all the signs, and you're getting it here. So it could have to do with legalities. You may have gone up some kind of ladder and then you find out you have to come back down again. But I feel like it could have to do with legal situations, legal steps. So you may have climbed up the ladder and then you get to the top and you're like, nope, now I have to go back and change what I did here, or something has to be revisited at a lower rung of the ladder before I can go back and proceed back up to the top. You know, it can also indicate something unfair or unjust in your life that's not legal. So justice could be coming up in a different way. Some of you may get promoted, but you may have had to go through it like a different way. Like they gave it to somebody else and you had to go to HR and say, no way, I've been here forever. That person shouldn't have gotten the promotion. And so you have to go say something about it and then you get the promotion. Or it could have been something where you feel like you were climbing up the ladder, but now maybe you find out, well, I can't get that promotion or that raise or whatever it is I'm trying to do until I take this class or that course or get this certification or get that, so you can climb back up the ladder again. It's a little confusing. I highly recommend, Capricorn, if these messages do not make sense to you at all, please go watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, because these three could merge together to give you a more complete picture. And I can tell you how many people I talk to in private readings when I'm like, do you know your sun sign? Do you know your rising sign? Do you know your moon sign? And they're like, I don't know my rising sign or moon sign. You guys are missing out on I'm not just talking about me psychically reading you, because I get people that tell me all the time their rising sign makes sense to them or their sun sign is, and that can change month to month. You're missing out when you listen to people that give astrology predictions and messages. Everybody should really figure out, get their chart, get their birth certificates out, go to an online calculator, figure it out, enter in the information it's asking you for, your place of birth, the day you were born, and your birth time. And if you don't know it, you could get a birth rectification chart from an astrologer. Like, get them to do a rectification chart. They can figure it out even if you don't have that. You're missing out on a lot of valuable information. I'm not picking on you, Capricorn, but it's coming up here, so I'm saying it because I'm telling you, I read people all the time that are like, no, I only know my sun sign. You need to know all of it. You do. It's going to help you. So, I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. Well, you got Four of Swords, and Four of Swords is a pause, a meditative state of recuperation from an illness. It can also indicate prayer. This card has come up for three signs: Sagittarius, Gemini, and Aquarius. So your fellow air sign, Gemini, also got it. Sorry if you can hear that noise outside. There is a guy that has a little, it's like a little, I don't even know what to call it. It's not a bulldozer. It's like a little excavator, or I don't even know if it's that. And he's running it right outside my window, literally right outside. He's not in it. He turned it on. I don't know where he went. And for the past 6 minutes, it's been running. So I'm sorry if you can hear it. I swear, you would think this would be the quietest place on earth, but it is noisy here beyond belief. It really, truly is. And it aggravates me to no end. And don't you like it that I am, you know, letting this out on you, Aquarius? I guess because I'm an Aquarius sun sign, but I can't help it. I'm not using up your time. I shut off the timer so I could complain to you. Okay, one truck moved. One is still out there, but you're going to feel like timing is going to be really important to you in mid-month of September and going into October. It's like you're going to want things to fit into place and get clear in your mind, and getting your ducks in a row and getting organized, and timing and things fitting into place is going to be important. You're going to look at things and you're like, I'm looking at how things have deteriorated and I need to replace it. It could be things on your home, siding, windows, outdoor, indoor things, anything, but things that are like falling apart, rusting, deteriorating, breaking down. I see you looking at these things and you're like, well, that needs to be fixed or that needs to be replaced. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of pondering. And these two eclipses this month are going to drive up in you your past. And you're going to start thinking about things you said and did and experiences you had in the past and what you've learned from them. Like what lessons you learned, karmic or otherwise. What did these past experiences, you are going to be ruminating and going over in your mind. What did you learn from them? You could get them when you're asleep. This could be coming up if you just are doing, prayer, meditation. They could just start to drop into your head out of nowhere. You could be doing something and all of a sudden you could be cooking dinner and bam, you have a memory of this or that. That's been happening to me lately. I could be doing anything and all of a sudden a memory out of nowhere that has nothing to do with anything I'm doing plops into my head and I'm like, why did that just plop in my head? And I'm getting that. I'm not just telling you that because it's happening to me. That reminded me. It is coming up in your card. That is what my guides are saying, but that has been happening to me already in the end of August and now in this September. So you may find it's going to happen to you. You have to not trip yourself up. Not make things complicated for yourself. Start to thinking about ways to streamline things in your life. And decisions you make, it's going to be important you don't complicate your life with the decisions. The card you have with it is the Ace of Pentacles. This is financial abundance and blessings coming to you from the divine source. You could be receiving an inheritance. You could be getting a gift of cash. You could be getting a raise, a promotion, having more business could come up, but you're getting, it doesn't always have to be money. This can also be other things of value, even emotions. Some of you are going to start to make more money in this month of September. And you're also going to have a new outlook on how to spend it. So something could be coming up with, if you're making more money, you may be like, okay, well, I know how I need to spend it. And I would pay attention to what came up with the Four of Swords as to what. It could be like, well, I need a new back door, or I need new windows, or, whatever. I need new tires on my car, whatever. Like making more money, but you're also going to have the thoughts and ideas of how to spend it. And I feel like it will be spent wisely, not just willy-nilly spending money to have fun. I feel like in the past, if you had your money dip or ebb and flow a lot, I feel like now you're sort of getting a handle on it, where you're not, either because of cosmically the planets moving in the cosmos are changing and are going to make it happen, so you have more of a handle on it, or it's from your own thoughts and ingenuity, or things you're going to start or may have already started and institute in your life to get that to occur. Some of you could get some big job offered to you. It could be a new job. Or it could be a gig, a short-term job for a designated thing that you yeah, I'll do that. And you get, boom, you get a good chunk of money for it. So it may not be like a full-time job. It could be a one-off situation and you make some good money from it. That could happen here as well. I feel like you've learned some valuable lessons about money. And I also see you maybe giving money to charity this month. You may start to do that. Maybe you always do it. Maybe you do it at the end of the year around Christmas time and you start giving donations to people then. But you could donate money to a cause or a particular person or situation. You may be generous in giving money in September. So I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Pisces. Hi Pisces, the first card you have is Nine of Cups. That's wish fulfillment, all good things coming to you in an emotional sense. This could also be partying, let the good times roll, having that kind of decadent spirit. You could get invited to some party or gathering that you end up having a lot of fun. That also came up, I believe Gemini got that as well. It could be like a reunion, or the gathering could just be such that you're going to see people you haven't seen for a long time. And I feel like you could really, get your groove on there at that party. You could be having, let the good times roll. You could dance and whoop it up, have a good time. Some of you could turn something you used to do as a hobby into a money-making product or venture of some sort. I feel like your life's going to take a turn for the better, and some of you Pisces get some kind of like unexpected or surprising occurrences that come up that are going to improve your life. Somebody you're going to talk to from the past could bring in some new person or new insights or information that's going to be important and helpful to you. So pay attention to what people say to you at that gathering, or anybody in the month of September or in October that you talk to that's from the past. It could be somebody you worked with from the past. It could be a relative from the past you haven't seen for a long time. It could be somebody you went to school with in the past. I don't know who it is, but like pay attention to what they say to you, because they could give you some great ideas, or ingenuity could pop up from what you talk about. They could bring in a networking possibility or opportunity for you, or lead you to like a new job or a new place of employment. I feel like you're going to feel better. Like if you've been feeling uptight or out of sorts, or on edge, or physically not feeling well, I feel like you're going to be feeling better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The card you have with this is the Queen of Swords. That's an air sign person. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign person. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an air sign. Or if you're born on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces. I feel like this air sign person could open up some doorways to you. It could be the person from the past, or it could be a person you meet that's through that person. This could be the networking person, or it could be somebody else. But I get like this is like door opening situations come through this Queen of Swords. I feel like you like how they handle situations. You like their cut of their jib. You like what they say. You like how they, their ideas, or how they troubleshoot and handle problems. This could be somebody that gives you an opportunity or an offer. They may say, I want you to be part of my staff. I want you to work in my business or company. I need you on my team. This could come from the air sign person. This could be somebody that's also going to give you a lot of ideas or inspiration. They could also be giving you a lot of information. I feel like this air sign person is very rooted and grounded in reality in some ways. So I don't know that they're going to be, I'm not saying they don't have any creativity or imagination. I feel like they do. But I feel like what you're talking to them about and what you're dealing with them about is grounded in reality, not like airy-fairy, dreamy, imaginative stuff. I don't feel like that. This could be somebody that says, we're going to do things as a couple, or we're going to do things as a team, and I'm linking my arm with you, Pisces. That's what I'm doing. I'm seeing them link their arm with you. And then we're going to do things together. We're going to tackle this together. We're going to do it as a couple or as a team, is the energy that comes from them to you. You may want them to pick you, to elect you, to pick you. This could be somebody that you go to for a job interview, or you go to an audition for a part in a play or a musical or a movie. It could be, somebody that runs a club, a group, an organization, an orchestra, a band, I don't know. And you may audition for them in some way and you want them to pick you, and they very likely will. So you have to see how that plays out for you. Like I've already said to Capricorns, which I wasn't picking on Capricorns, but you really should find out your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign. If you already know your sun sign, you're missing out by not knowing your rising sign and moon sign when you listen to my readings. And if you listen to astrology, you can get more from these messages when you know your sun, your moon, and your rising. And I have people that tell me all the time, well, this month my rising sign was dead on. But usually it's my sun sign. Or this month my moon sign was on fire. It made total sense to me, and it never does. So don't pass those by. And your cusp sign too. So I hope you have absolutely amazing energy that comes to you the rest of this month of September. And I want to thank you so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your comments. It helps a lot and it means a lot. I couldn't do this channel without you, so thank you so much. And now they added a hype button. It just was new to me the other day. I'm like, hype button. So when you click like on a video, I guess it's on all creators, that now there's a hype button too. And if you click on that, I guess the video's getting hyped up to make other people or the algorithms recommend it to other viewers. Because I can tell you, my channel is not really getting recommended to new viewers. So if you want to help me out and you do click like, click that hype button. I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but I think that is what it's doing. I should look it up. I should have looked it up before I started this video to see what exactly it means, but I do believe that's what it is. So if you're interested in any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and now also on my Patreon. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box and on my website, theluckymermaid.com, on the videos page. And you can go to my Patreon shop tab and get them there. So again, I hope you have absolutely amazing energy that comes to you this rest of this month of September and beyond. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.